Let's kick off the recording. Yeah, let's dive in. Okay. So the first slide I shared was titled "What's New and What's Next." In terms of the agenda for today, I want to make sure we don't only focus on what we've recently released, as exciting as that is, but I also want to spotlight an exciting part of the platform that's been around, but maybe not everyone here is aware of, or maybe you haven't had a chance to try yet. And lastly, I would never get in front of this many people and take up your time without sharing a little bit more on where we're headed, and what else will be coming to the platform soon. So whether you've been using Dscout for a while or just are starting to look at solutions, it's only fair to keep you in the loop on the direction we're headed in. And one last thing with this, I've said this on previous sessions like this, but everything that you'll see here today is truly customer-led innovation, and I want to stress that. I mentioned we're dog fooding and using our own product to continue to innovate it. And so we do truly want to hear from you. We have some of G2's top ratings in product direction and business partnerships. So I mean this, light up the chat, let us know what's resonating or what's missing, reach out to your account team and let us know your thoughts, so that we can set the course for this industry together. And now is probably also a good time to call out our People Nerds blog and Slack communities as well. I'll see if we can have someone share those in the chat, but for all you customer-centric, empathy-first people out there, both of those are great resources to just learn, share your own expertise, and just join the conversation beyond this call too. Drinking your own champagne, I think, is better than dog fooding. I like that. I like that analogy a little bit better. I'll try to remember that one moving forward. Okay, so as we jump in, this might be old news for some of you, but I first like to just give a quick refresher of the Dscout platform, since we likely have some new folks on here. And since most of our updates will roll up into one or more of these buckets. But this is just a high-level look at what Dscout does. So we built the platform to support the entire research process end to end. So it's not just interviews and usability or prototype testing or survey style tools. It's finding the right people to talk to in the first place. It's the operational work of how you manage the process and organize it all. It's the data analysis and ultimately taking your findings to decision makers to validate or invalidate whatever hypothesis you're testing. That's the process we're built around and always seeking to improve with these updates. So today, besides recapping all the exciting new stuff, we'll also go even deeper into a couple of these areas to cover some things around our interview tool, Dscout Live, our new team workspaces on the ops and management side, and in the area of analysis, I would cue some sort of drum roll here if I knew how to do that. We'll get an in-depth look at our new AI analysis capabilities as well. So let me walk you through what we've released in the past couple months. And my hope is that by now, some of you on this call have already noticed and fingers crossed, maybe even used some of these new capabilities. So if you have, by all means, call that out in the chat. We'd love to hear it. And just a note, I will try to make sure to highlight throughout here when these updates have additional specifics around plan availability, at the very least with an asterisk, or if there are specifics in them living within one or more of our research tools like Express, Live, and Diary, I'll try to call that out. Now, if you didn't join a previous one of these webinars, you'll see here that I like to organize these updates by some high-level themes. And you should see these themes come up a lot with Dscout. One, because they're really sort of key differentiators for us and the reasons that our customers say they chose us and why they stick with us. But two, because I also want to continue to make it very clear that we're not building for the sake of building or doing so in a vacuum. These updates are centered around things that you have told us are incredibly important to you in the research process and in the tools you use, or areas that you might have run into challenges in the past. So flexibility first is just about giving you more options within the platform to enjoy a bit more control and really make it work for you. So first up, there was a lot of excitement when we released our usability testing solution late last year. And we quickly followed that up a couple months ago with the option to run usability on mobile. So you now have both desktop and mobile options that include task questions and completion and ease of task metrics. The one distinction to mention is that for the time being, continuous recording is only in the desktop version. When you run usability testing on mobile, we do have video questions so that you can still capture that. It just won't be for the full duration of the test. And that is something that we are actively exploring, so more on that later. But we didn't stop there with updates to usability testing. We also released new task success validation. So essentially, before we measured task success via self-reporting. So the user said whether they were able to successfully complete the task or not. But now we also allow for that to be automated. So on desktop, you can set a success URL, or on desktop and mobile, you can select a starting URL and success screen in your Figma prototypes to automatically track successful task completion. And just sticking with our Figma integration for a second, some quality of life updates there. You can now add and manage your Figma file and links at the study or mission level versus needing to do so in each question. So you can just more easily edit the URLs for each task and collect heat map click data across the entire prototype file. And lastly, when it comes to analysis in Express and Diary, we added some more flexibility with how you can view your data, where you can choose actuals, percentages, or both. It's those little things that we hear from customers that really just cater to people's work preferences or their need to slice things up a bit differently. Cool. So next on the collaboration front, we work with a number of very large teams, either tackling projects together or running completely independent research programs. So we're always looking to make that process as easy and smooth as possible. And on that note, I just realized I'm showing the wrong slide here. So let me fix that real quick. That's much better. As you can see, we are no longer in beta and are officially live today with our new team workspaces. So I'm going to have Elizabeth Allen from our product team join us in a second to take you through this a bit more in depth, and honestly, probably do a better job explaining it than I will. But the gist here is that with those large teams that we work with, and that many of you may very well be a part of, there are often totally separate budgets different departments operate off of. So there's a need to, better separate the work, control user permissions and access across teams, manage incentive spending for the research more easily, and so on. So maybe more so for the research ops folks on this call, but this is a big one to help avoid needing separate subscriptions across different teams, custom reporting, and all that stuff. But really quickly, before I hand it off to Elizabeth to show you those workspaces in action, there's two other quick things I just want to highlight. First, in all of our tools, you could always preview your studies, but now you can actually test your study before launch. So for added quality assurance, you can run a full test version of the study to check for errors or the general flow of things and see how actual data comes in. A note here, tests run for 5 days by default, but you can manually end them sooner if you choose. And you'll see the option to test right next to the option to launch. Also, a fun update to our Slack integration, which, side note, you should definitely be using if you're not already. I personally love it for sharing more compelling photos, like our little dog here, photos and videos directly to certain channels to just make your findings resonate more for people, make it click, But anyway, in the spirit of better team collaboration, you can now be alerted in Slack to comments within your studies as you're building them. So we're bringing that collaboration to you where you are in order to keep things moving. And as you can see here on the right, there's a whole slew of activities that you can toggle on and off to receive Slack updates about once you set up the integration, to keep everyone informed and move through the work more efficiently. But enough from me. Let me have Elizabeth take you through our new Team Workspaces functionality.
I'm Elizabeth, a product manager at Dscout, and I'm excited to show you Team Workspaces. Team Workspaces serve as distinct spaces within an account where projects, members, and budgets are housed. We built this because we found that naturally within an organization, teams wanted to have their own space within Dscout without mingling projects or budgets. Ops and admins will appreciate the ease at which you can track and report usage across teams, and everyone will benefit from having more granular control at the workspace level. Let's get started. You can see here I'm in an account with multiple workspaces. I'm seeing 4 because I'm a member of 4 workspaces. You can navigate between them, which will pull up different projects, and you can even click and drag your favorite workspace to the top. So that's where you'll land next time you log in. Inside a workspace, you can set things like a description, your privacy permissions, and you can see the members of that workspace. I can designate someone as a workspace lead, which is a way to give a researcher the ability to make edits to a workspace members or balances. And speaking of balances, I'm able to see what this particular workspace has used so far. And I might even notice they're out of activity credits. And this is an opportunity for me to add 50 more to their count. And you can see that updates in real time. Let's create a new workspace. So here on my workspaces page, I can create a workspace here, give it a description if I'd like. I can choose whether this workspace will be public or private, which does not impact research visibility at all. It really just speaks to whether someone who's not on that workspace can see that a workspace is on the account. So let's make this one private. And we can go ahead and add some members. We can designate someone as a workspace lead again, and we can apply any available budget to this workspace. Now we see it's created, and here it is back on my homepage to choose from. Many organizations have different teams with independent budgets, which can make it tricky to work independently while still needing to tie all the reporting together. Here's how Team Workspaces solves for that. So you have a view at the account level, but also you can drill down at the workspace level, and that can help you identify balances that need to be replenished. On the projects page, you can search by a time period, what a particular workspace or multiple workspaces has used, and you can export that. And you can also look at users down to the workspace level and export those as well. Now teams can create and customize different spaces to have their own hub within Dscout to fit their unique needs, and admins can manage budget and reporting all in one convenient location.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Before I move on, I should note that Team Workspaces are available as an add-on to certain plans within Dscout. So to learn more about your options there, please contact your account manager. Next up, most of you know we talk pretty regularly about the quality of our participant pool and our recruiting practices. This has always been a pretty unique differentiator for us, And in the past few months, we continued our focus on that by just further improving the participant experience in Dscout. First on that front, it's not just our participants that you might need to run research with. So when you're bringing your own users into Dscout for studies, we now offer a passwordless sign-in experience across all of Dscout's tools. So whether you're running an express usability test, a diary study, or live interviews, if you use share links to invite your own people, it'll be a smooth one-click sign-up experience with no need for them to create a password. Now, we also released time estimates for researchers to better gauge how much of an ask their study is for participants. So Dscout had previously made those estimates available on the participant side so that they could know how much time they should expect to spend. And that estimate is based on both the number of questions and question type. But by sharing it now with the researcher side as well, right next to your chosen incentive amount, you'll just get a better sense of the participant experience and if you're fairly rewarding them for the work. And next, really quick on the privacy and security front. This is always important when collecting personal and sensitive information in the research process, and we already offer a ton in that regard, with two-factor authentication, SOC 2, ISO, and high trust certification, HIPAA compliance, and plenty more. But one thing I want to talk through that we recently released is regarding informed consent. So Dscout already has robust terms and conditions that our participants need to agree to, but many companies out there might require their own additional layer of security. And we always offered the option to have your own informed consent documentation, but now you can actually require it to be included in all research prior to launch. And just one note with that, informed consent is available on certain Dscout plans. So again, reach out to your account manager or our sales team with any questions on that. Moving on, the last big thing I want to highlight in our What's New section today, and you'll see I did figure out a way to work in my drum roll, and I sincerely hope some of you on this call know the reference here, because I'm going for a Christmas in July sort of thing with this. But once the research is done, oftentimes the work is just beginning. So in the spirit of getting you to meaningful insights and learnings even faster, also live as of today, we have released our new AI analysis capabilities. I won't go too deep into this one myself because I've got Nathan Reef here from our UXR team, who's been working extremely closely with our product, engineering, and design teams on building this. Really quickly, though, there are some specifics around access to this. So again, reach out to us to learn more or try it out. But the one thing I really want to say before handing it off is, a few of us here at Dscout were just at Figma's huge config conference where we met both researchers and designers who shared pretty consistently how daunting the analysis phase can be sometimes. And this idea of AI being able to help you avoid the overwhelm of walking into an empty whiteboard was really compelling to them. Having some post-its already on the board for you to react to or dig deeper into is a pretty exciting concept. But with that, I'll let Nathan not just tell you, but show you more about our new AI analysis tools.
Hello and welcome to Dscout AI. My name is Nathan, and I'm a UX researcher at Dscout focused on the deployment of our AI analysis features. I'm super excited to show you all of Dscout's new AI analysis features today and get this functionality into your hands. Here at Dscout, we're working on AI functionality that works with you to break the trade-off between speed and quality. When considering all of the various places we could integrate AI functionality, we decided to start with analysis as it's the part of the research process that's often the most time-consuming and overwhelming, and where people who do research often could use a bit of assistance. With the AI analysis features I'll show you in a moment, you'll be able to execute your research faster, do more with less, and focus the bulk of your energy on the higher level synthesis and storytelling of your data. There are two main elements of our AI analysis features that I'll walk through today: AI summaries, and AI themes. AI summaries are short, qualitative recaps of responses, whereas AI themes are words or phrases that summarize responses, which are then auto-tagged back to responses. Let's get into the demo so I can show you these features in action. AI analysis is available in all of Dscout's tools, but it works a bit differently for our moderated versus unmoderated tools. I'll start by showing you AI analysis in Dscout Live, which is our moderated research tool. When you click into a completed live mission, you're automatically taken to this page where all of your completed sessions live. From here, you can click into an individual session in order to see the recording, transcript, and other analysis features, including AI analysis. When a mission has AI analysis enabled, the analysis will automatically start generating after you complete a session, and after it's generated, you'll find it here above the transcript within an individual session. Within this AI summary block, you'll find a handful of bullets that summarize the session in chronological order of how they came up in that session. In order to quickly pull this summary out of the platform, you can click on this copy button, and if you want to hide the summary, just click on this AI settings button to temporarily toggle off the summary. In Dscout's unmoderated tools, Express and Diary, you'll find AI summaries like those in Live, as well as AI themes. In these tools, AI summaries and themes are generated on a question-by-question basis for any written open-ended, talk out loud, or video questions. I'll start by showing you these features in Express. When you open up a completed Express mission, you're taken to the Questions tab within the Analyze page. When a mission has AI analysis enabled, you'll find the AI summaries and themes under each analyzed question. In this case, I'll scroll down to question 8, which is a video question. Here, we find the AI analysis block, which includes the summary and themes. In Dscout's unmoderated tools, AI summaries are formatted as paragraphs and can be copied out of the platform using this copy button. Below the summary are the themes, which you can click on to filter and see responses that are auto-tagged with that theme. If you select multiple themes, you'll see responses that are tagged with either of those themes. As with Dscout Live, you can click on the AI settings button to temporarily toggle off the summaries or themes. In Diary, you'll find these same analysis features on the open-ended responses page under each analyzed question. In both Express and Diary, it's up to you when to start analysis. At any point during or after fieldwork, just navigate to the AI settings button to trigger analysis. In this example, we've already triggered analysis for all activities in this diary mission except for activity 4. So we can open up the AI settings module and trigger analysis for activity 4 here. At Dscout, it's been critically important to infuse our AI development with research from the get-go in order to ensure that we're building responsible AI tools that work for people like you all. We've spent months testing these features with users and are excited about the potential that our testers see in these features, including time and energy savings, the ability to use AI analysis for quote and keyword finding, and increasing bandwidth to scale research. In using these features, you can also rest assured that we're compliant with industry-leading security standards like ISO 27001, SOC2, HIPAA, and HITRUST to keep your data safe. I'm so excited to get these features into your hands and hear what you think, and I hope you're just as excited to use them. Reach out to your Dscout account team to get more information on how to access these AI analysis features.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Nathan. All of us at Dscout are incredibly excited about these new AI tools and really all of the potential for what AI can do to help the teams conducting user research to just be more efficient and give themselves that time back to focus on synthesis and share outs and all that fun stuff that can be more impactful. And if you all have other ideas of your own of where you'd like to see AI support you in your work, by all means, share it in the chat. Again, we would love to hear from you. But I want to shift gears a little bit now into what I call our product spotlight. So after attending the conference I mentioned earlier, I had some great conversations with the head of our product design team, Lauren Madura, about how she uses Dscout to connect with users to help her in her work. Um, So this is a quick overview of our study options or fielding methods within Dscout. And I'm going to have Lauren take you through, from the designer's perspective, how design and research teams can work together in our moderated interview tool, Dscout Live, to run in-depth one-on-one interviews in a way where more of the team can more easily benefit from those conversations. Okay, so let's switch over to Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren Madura, Director of Product Design here at Dscout. My team designs Dscout, and we also use Dscout to test our designs and concepts with customers. One way we do this is using our Live product. So today I want to walk you through some of my and my team's favorite features inside of Live. Live is our interview tool. What's great about Live is that unlike regular video conferencing, it's built for user research. You can schedule, message, analyze, and conduct your interviews all in one place. You can use Live for any research you want to do along the entire product development lifecycle, whether it's establishing personas, journey mapping, competitive analysis, or my personal favorite, usability testing. Getting face-to-face across the screen with your customers is powerful and empathy building. In Live, you can build a schedule with your availability so that invited participants can sign up for open time slots. This saves a ton of time and eliminates the usual scheduling back and forth. I can also assign different moderators so my colleagues and I can tag team interviews during a busy week. Here you can see I'm available for interviews Monday, Wednesday, and my colleague Alpha will cover interviews Tuesday and Thursday. Another favorite feature in Live is the ability to have multiple moderators. This means when both my PM and I want to run a session with a customer together, we can both be part of the conversation. The observer feature is another favorite. In this session, I'm an observer, which means I'm hidden to the participant. Let's say my UX research lead is conducting some foundational research to establish user personas. I can join his sessions as an observer to listen in on the sessions. If other observers are in the session, we can privately message each other about things we're hearing, things that are resonating, and general reactions. I can also message the moderator privately if there's a question or follow-up I'd like to suggest. When I'm moderating sessions, I love to invite other designers, researchers, PMs, and engineers to my live sessions as observers, so they can watch my sessions in real time. It's so impactful when everyone on the team can experience the voice of the customer directly. Adding timestamp notes is a great way to keep track of insights as you see them happen in real time. Let's say I notice a participant struggling to find a button, or I notice a participant move particularly seamlessly through a flow. As an observer or moderator, I can make note of that so I can revisit the clip later or share with a colleague. Whether it's running the session or observing, my design team uses Live to stay connected to our customers. It's a tool that helps us improve our designs, understand our customers, and continually build empathy. Using an interview tool that's built for user research speeds up the time it takes us to get the insights we need to improve our designs.
All right, I love it. And I want to thank Lauren for taking us through that. I think it's really exciting to think about how other teams can be involved in or benefit from the research more because I've experienced it myself sitting in on projects and I can attest just seeing it for yourself goes a lot further in making it resonate for people. And on that note, actually, with having just talked about how different teams might get involved in the research process, we're going to put up a quick poll because we'd love to learn a little bit more about what that looks like for some of you. And I'll give that just a minute and to kick that off and see if I'm comfortable sitting in the silence. I'm not very good at that generally. It's actually a pretty good mix so far. So this is exciting to see the variety of the different sorts of situations that people are in on this call. I will give it one more minute. So for the most part, it is looking like the majority of people here do have a dedicated research function, but there's a good mix on if research owns all of it, or if they're, as their own team, or if they're embedded in different teams. But there's a decent amount. It's pretty much an even split there for the teams where designers and PMs are also running some of their own research. And Mary, I'm not sure why you're not seeing the poll. Cool. Well, yeah, very, very interesting results there. And I think we have the option to share that out with all of you to see that breakdown as well. Colleen, on the back end, you'll have to check me on that. Cool. So thank you for indulging me with that really quick. But now that we have shown you a lot of what's already available or newly available in Dscout, let's get the crystal ball out and peer into the not too distant future of the platform. So first, going back to the flexibility piece, to make sure Dscout offers you all the options you need. I'm pretty pumped for this one. Less than a year ago, we released our closed card sort question type. Fairly common practice in research to help you see how users think about important topics or terminology by placing cards into a set of categories. So the before here is that in closed card sorting, you chose the categories that they were sorting the cards into. But a lot of people need more flexibility to actually let the users themselves choose their own categories, or a combination of the two, where you provide some categories but let them choose others. So I'm excited to share that open and hybrid card sort will soon be available in Dscout to offer more variety in how you generate ideas or understand user perspectives. So be on the lookout for that one in the near future. And next up, another big one, question groups and randomization have been really common requests from you all. And I'm excited to share that we have heard you, and these are very much in the works and coming soon. Letting you group tasks and questions allows you to keep multiple prototypes or concepts together and analyze the data in a combined view. It's just a much smoother and easier study design experience. And additionally, the question groups update will be paired with randomization, because we all know that eliminating any bias in research is hugely important overall, but especially when testing multiple concepts. So our release of randomization will switch up the order that questions or concepts appear in your studies, and the whole team here is really excited to make that option available to you as well. Now, next up, I already mentioned mobile usability in our recent releases, which we made available back in April. But we already have lots of things in the works to build that out even further. First up, with taps and swipes, you'll soon be able to see exactly where users are tapping and swiping in their recorded videos. We're also adding the ability to record both the screen and the camera at the same time so that you can see users' reactions, while also seeing what it is they're reacting to. So this means mobile will in some ways better mirror the experience that we already can provide in desktop usability, or when teams choose to run moderated usability sessions with Dscout Live. We also got great feedback from our mobile usability beta, and later this year, we'll be releasing continuous recording, which will include our beloved talk out loud questions from our desktop version, and make a more seamless experience navigating from one task to another across a prototype on mobile. And last one here is another one of those quality of life updates. by giving you the ability to relaunch a closed mission. Mission being our term for studies, if I didn't share that before. By doing this, we offer you a bit more flexibility to bring people into your tests in waves as needed. So let's say you want to run a test on a small sample of people to learn before rolling it out to the larger intended group, or maybe you realize you need to offer a larger incentive to fill the study. This will give you that option. So just even more control in how you want to run things. Okay, so coming back to the quality recruiting theme, first and foremost, we are going through an incredible redesign of our recruiting tool. And this is part of a broader revamp of the Dscout UI to just create more consistency across tools and really streamline your workflows. So expect a lot on that in the near future. Next up, now historically, Dscout research advisors have reviewed screeners before launch and shared feedback to ensure the best possible experience for both researchers and participants. But for a bit now, we have allowed for customers to skip that process on studies using our Express tool, just in order to reduce turnaround times and generally speed up the research. And so soon we'll be extending that option to skip review to the rest of the recruitment process versus just an Express. So this is especially exciting because I think everyone here probably knows that there can sometimes be a perception that research is slow. So we're excited to just remove more roadblocks to get you to insights faster and keep stakeholders bought in on the work. Of course, Dscout research advisors will still be available to provide thoughtful advice and feedback, but you'll decide if and when we can add value to your work. And just a quick reminder to set expectations here. Our team will still review each user's first Express study and screener to help ensure the best possible experience and just help them get started. And lastly, with targeting attribute quotas, when we did this session in the spring, I mentioned that we had recently rolled out over 60 new targeting attributes to help you better find the right people for your studies. And now we're building out the ability to set quotas on those attributes to give you even greater control. So Dscout already allows you to set quotas on the potential answers when screening people to help you recruit a diverse and balanced set of participants. So this just really expands upon that and gives you better ability to prioritize the attributes you care about most in your recruiting. And lastly, Elizabeth told us all earlier about the new team workspace offering so that different teams or departments can manage their research independently within one Dscout account. But one of the fast follow items we'll be adding to that is team workspace leads. Essentially, since workspaces can operate like their own business inside of another business, this is the option to designate an owner of each workspace to make sure they have all the permissions needed to keep research moving efficiently and better mirror how they work in real life. We don't want the overall account owner to ever become a bottleneck, so leads will be added to all team projects and can edit project information like name and description, and as well as edit members and budget. Okay, that's all we've got for you today. So just to recap, we highlighted some of our latest and greatest with our new AI analysis offering to give you that quick jumping off point for your insights. And we talked a lot about team workspaces to help different departments within the company manage their own research programs. And then we covered lots of exciting stuff in the pipeline, like open and hybrid card sorting, question groups and randomization. Checking the time really quick. It does look like we should have time for some questions. I know that my team has been pretty active in the chat throughout. So just a reminder that if we don't get to your question here, we do plan to send these questions over to our customer-facing teams to follow up accordingly. But let me just get caught up really quick and see what we can share. Okay, so I see lots of stuff related to AI and team workspaces. A couple things I can cover here. Um, Once AI analysis is toggled on, will the results be instantaneous? So that's a great question. The official answer is that results can take anywhere from a few minutes to a few hours to generate, but ideally and generally, we've been seeing closer to a few minutes. Um, in that same vein, how many responses does AI need in order to generate the summaries and themes? Yeah, that's a great question. So the team put a lot of thought into that to ensure quality there. So 15 submissions is the general recommendation, but it will work with anything more than 5 entries. I should stress though that 15 is recommended for good reason. That'll net you the best results, and when you're using AI and Dscout, it'll actually provide that guidance in the platform as well. I do see some questions here around cost and availability for both AI analysis and team workspaces. Um, so for AI, the best bet would honestly be to reach out to your account rep for the clearest answer for your specific account, because it's a bit of a custom algorithm tied to your expected or prior usage and other factors. So I don't want to misspeak to that. They'll know best how to quote you on that. And with workspaces, it's going to be a similar thing. Your account rep will know best because it does vary a bit by plan tier and the number of users on the given teams or departments that you're adding. A bit of a non-answer, I know, but we will get you pointed in the right direction there. Going back to one of our updates around testing before launch, I'm getting a question around what parameters are there on how testing works. Is it just me, or can I have others on the team test my study? Yeah, that's a great question. So in addition to being able to test it yourself, you can add 5 other team members to help test and QA your study. And I know I mentioned it defaults to a period of I believe 5 days, but that you can manually end that sooner. So that's a good call out that I should have mentioned earlier. And let's take a look. What account type do you need to access the report level data of separate teams? Elizabeth answered that one. Researchers, admins, or account owner roles can access the workspace level reporting. And there was a question around how budgets work in the team workspaces. I see that Mary said it looks like there's one central budget that gets allocated to the different workspaces. What if the different teams have separate cost centers and need to pay for their licenses separately? So yeah, Elizabeth covered this. We have the ability to allocate balances to the workspace that funded their credits, hours, and incentives balance. So there's no risk of other teams using your budget. And I'll stress what she said there, that your account manager can work with you on the license part to make sure that cost centers are billed appropriately for the shared license. Yep, a question around scheduling participants within Dscout. It says, does that mean Dscout also sends out video meeting links similar to Calendly or Google appointments? And yeah, you can share a scheduling link with your participants, but we do not yet support direct links to those sessions. And there's a good call out here on co-moderation. The question is if co-moderators need to have their own Dscout account. So in order to moderate, yes, you need to have a Dscout license or seat, but you still have the option for viewers and those hidden observers who can join the session but don't need the account for that. So you do have that option. Cool. We are getting close on time, and I don't see a ton of other new stuff rolling in. All right. I'm going to call it there. If we didn't get to your question or we missed anything, we've got that list, so we can hopefully follow up accordingly. But I just want to thank you all so much for joining. I love getting this time to just make everyone aware of what Dscout is building to better connect companies and their customers. It really is impactful, meaningful work that you all do. So anything that we can do to help it and help shine a spotlight on it. To close it out, if you want to learn more about any of these updates or discuss any other questions about how Dscout can help you in your work, please reach out to our team. And for anyone new who has stuck around, I'm going to close us out with Dscout's sort of inspirational video about what we do and why. So thanks again for coming, and I will see you again at our next one of these in the fall. Take care.
Right now, I am at my resort.
Right now, I'm in the grocery store.
I am walking around Home Depot.
Now I'm going for a little walk.
We're getting ready to do some practicing.